Okay, class. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good morning. Um, so I believe that you still awaiting the last slide or last lecture from me regarding the system design. Um okay, see, so this is a lab 12. Lab 12 is a uh, last lesson from the ITP to 3, um, where this document you need to submit. Yeah, you need to complete your project by submitting the technical document. We call it technical document. If you follow this example, okay, we name it technical document, software requirement analysis, software requirement specification, and software detail design. So in this document, I combine all, not all, only three main document, uh, which actually you, in the real project, in the real software project in the industry, so you need to submit the deliverable, or they call it the technical document, for each of the phase. You go back to your software development life cycle, the basic one that I lecture to you. So we got planning, analysis, design, and implementation, right? So if you follow waterfall, for example, or you follow RUP, rational unified process, or you follow object-oriented software development life cycle, actually they add a lot of activity inside the phase. So this is normal. When the scientists discover the new method, so they will add, or they will remove some of the activity uh, that they might thinking that the activity will delay the process of delivering the software. Okay, so for your course, this subject course, actually I plan to teach you right from the beginning until end of the classes, how to manage the project, how to uh, deliver the software uh, in detail. But I can't, because we only have 4 months in the semester. Okay, never mind. But we cover in this subject, the name of the subject is our requirement and design. So we purposely to teach you how to do the analysis and design of the system. So this is a key component in software development life cycle in any type of uh, methodology. Okay, so but in your project, so I wish to ask you, yeah, to deliver these three type of document, which combine in one document. I call it technical document. Okay, so don't confuse. Yeah, I afraid you explain to the other lecturer that, okay, this is what is the deliver that you need to produce in each of the phases of the soil development cycle. So don't give the answer that technical document. So technical document is uh, the term of each of the technical document that you need to deliver to your customer. Okay, so in this subject, I combine all the document into one document. They call it technical document. Yeah. So this technical document consists of software requirement analysis, which we cover in the early of the semester, and then we cover the software requirement analysis is actually in the chapter 2. Yeah, you can see at the left side of my document. Yeah, this is a requirement analysis. So although this document tell you about the three main document, I also ask you to do a planning. So this is the planning is you cannot run away from the planning when you want to do something, or you want to run the project. So you need to plan. So I give you the bonus, yeah, a bonus of document to be prepared for the project. So you need to start the planning with a planning section where you can organize your project accordingly. And then you go to this requirement analysis. Yeah, after requirement analysis, you go to the system analysis where you do the use case model, use case description. Yeah, you produce the object behavioral, you produce the static view of the object class. Okay, and then you discover the entity which become your database or tables. Okay, so this is under requirement. So when you get the user requirement, and then you do the system analysis. So there are two of analysis that you need to do on your system. First, you need to analyze the as is system, yeah, current system. And then after you understand the current system flow, then you need to analyze, do analysis on the to be system. Yeah, to be system is the system that you want to replace, or you want to develop and replace the current system. Okay, remember, yeah, system analysis, you need to analyze the current system, and then you need to analyze as well the future system or to be system. Okay, and then after you complete your system analysis, you go to the system design. Okay, so this called SDD. Yeah, software design description. Okay, so under system analysis, you produce SRS, software requirement specifications. So under requirement analysis, normally you produce the software requirement analysis document, a list of document like this. Okay, remember? So this is a important document where this statement of requirement become a contract with your user. When you go to the UAT, user acceptance test, so bring this list of requirement and convert into the test cases. So you need to test according to the requirement. Don't go beyond of this scope. Yeah. Okay. So actually you got actually under the planning, actually in the industry, you need to produce one document. They call it SDP, Software Development Plan. So under the planning. But in terms of the uh, in the context of this subject, I compress it into one document. Okay, last lab, we taught you about the system design, right? So the system design consists of introduction. So this is a normal, yeah. When you write your document, so start with the introduction, to give the uh, to give a view uh, at a glance, your system, so that user before they go further reading, they understand what is the purpose of the chapter, system design. Why this purpose of the system design? You cannot assume that all your user understand with the technical term. Okay, and then we go to introduction, and then we describe the high level designs. Yeah? Before we go to the low level design or detailed design, we need to depict, or we need to design the high level. High level means the system overview, yeah, who use the system or who interact with the your system. In this case, in the example I show you, this is a clinical system. Who interact with the clinical system? Maybe the financial controller of the hospital, the maintainer. Maintainer means after the system implement, so two programmer or system analyst maintain the system. In the case of the system got bug or hang or user don't understand, so you need maintainer to maintain the system. So pharmacist, doctor, clerk will use this system. So see that this is a high level system context overview. So when the user see this diagram, or the reader see this diagram, they understand who is the user of the system. And then we describe the system architecture. What is the system architecture? So the system architecture is a pieces of application that you group into the or you present in a package diagram. Yeah. So this is a UML notation. So remember that I asked you to group, yeah, the group your class, which is same functionality or in the same use case. Then you create your package name. Okay, so in the system architecture, you need to view the overall of your package involved in the system. So in this case, this example, the CIS have 10 main package, yeah, which are shown in the figure 2 below. The criteria for grouping classes follow semantic rule. Each package defines a set of roles which result in minimum of coupling and a maximum of cohesion within the package. So I don't want to uh, give a lecture, the previous lecture about the package. So you need to refer how to create the package and what is the purpose of the package. So uh, from the system architecture, when the user see this diagram, the component of the CIS package, so they got the clear view of your system. So in this diagram, we got 1, 2, 3, 10. We got 10 package involved in this application. So under this package, so we encapsulate, yeah, we encapsulate all the classes involved in the appointment, for example, under the package. So this diagram looks simple, so we reduce the complexity. And then in the 4.2, I believe that you already develop this component or this documentation. So system state and mode uh, declare back, yeah. So example, this package package register master is under register record use case. So you need to display again, you need to describe again. So identify which package is owned by a use case you define earlier in the system analysis. Okay, so this is just to list or identify each of the package that you describe in the system architecture uh, is owned by which use cases. For example, you see the package register master under register record use case, register visit under register record use case. Okay, so this is one of the traceability. When you go far, uh, of your development process, sometimes you confuse or you lost uh, the component or package you describe or class, you don't know it fall under which use case. Yeah. So this is a place where you recap. You recap your application, or your component or your package under which use case. So from here, you easy to manage your software. Yeah. When people ask about the functionality, so you can refer to the functionality of certain use case. And then memory and processing time allocation, I think this is not applicable for your mini project, your project, because this involve a lot of technical calculation. Okay, so now, yeah, this week what you need to do is, and what you need to complete and submit your before you submit your project document. So you need to uh, describe your design. Yeah, so this is a section where you describe your design based on the package you define in your system architecture. So each of the package you need to describe it. This one. Okay, so under architecture, example, security, where is security? Okay, package security. And then under this design description, you need to describe the package security. Okay, so you pick one package, then you list the class involved in the package, and then you show the interaction, the communication of this package, example the package security from outside and after process the package. In the context of security, all module or all submodule will use this package, right? So because our rule before the user sign in into the system or use the system, they have to sign in. Yeah, they have to. We have to ask the user to log in, type their user ID, and then fill in the password. Okay. So this is where you describe your design, based on each of the package. Package security, uh, which package use the security. Okay, of course, after all package instantiate this package, so they will allow or they will disallow to use the system. Okay, next go to the another package and then the same process. So you list all the uh, class involved and then you show the communication, the interaction. So who use the register? So register, visit, appointment. Okay, they after the package use this package register, then they need to go to the security or code maintenance. Okay, class, I think this is a repeated process. So you need to describe each of the package of your system. Okay, so this is under design description. Yeah? And then after design description, you need to describe your user interface. So this is a very important part for latest software. So nowadays we got two part of the responsible of the application. Uh, we divide the team in developing the software nowadays. Uh, between back-end programmer or back-end developer and front-end developer. So the front-end developer normally manage or develop the user interface design, and the user interface design involve also the user experience, and they will design graphical layout of application. Sometimes consists of button, text they type or read. Sometimes involve image, slider, combo box, list of value, yeah, uh, and everything. And when you see, when you go to the website of Lazada, for example, so there are a lot of graphic, yeah. So this is a user interface design where the designer design uh, the look and feel of the system. Okay, so what you need to provide in the user interface design firstly is a user interface navigation. So the overall of menu or screen in your system. So this is an example uh, of a home page of the system, yeah? How the user uh, how the system authenticate the user homepage. So they need to first they need to sign in. Log masuk is in bahasa, ya. Log keluar is a sign out. Tukar kata laluan is change the password. Lupa kata laluan is the forgot password. So when you go in any of the application, so this is a common functionality they provide, right? So this is example, yeah, of user authentication. So if you can show the overall of the system, your UI of your overall system, it is very excellent. But I know the screen is very limited. The page of the Microsoft is very limited. So you need to display the user interface navigation by use case. Okay, this is one use case. Uh, User authentication. So uh, draw the screen navigation. So when user see this screen, for example, UI navigation for system BSC, okay, for user authentication, so they can comment, and then they can verify or clarify what what is other functionality that they need to add or they want to reduce it. So this is common, it's a standard. Sign in, sign out, change password, forgot password. Okay, so of course this is a UI navigation. We don't include the detail, yeah, the properties of the button, the properties of the field, the properties of the combo box, text field, etc. Yeah? So we yet to describe it. So where we want to describe the detail of the screen, so we go to the another section which is user interface detail. So this is an example of sign in, detail sign in of the user authentication. So this screen 1.0, so you need to describe in detail. So you need to describe the properties of each of the object described in the uh, screen. Okay, class. If you cannot, you don't have space, yeah, to show your detailed UI, so you can attach it under exhibit. Yeah. Example. So you just under this section, you just write down here the detailed user interface for each of use case are attached in exhibit 1. So you put under attachment uh, in the last of your document. Okay, this is a user interface design. What I want from from this section only two things. So the user interface navigation and the user interface detail. I believe that this user interface sketch, you sketch the user interface during the uh, while you describe your use case flow, right? So the use case flow have a UI at the end of the use case description. So you take the that sketch and then paste here, copy and paste here, and you need to describe each of the properties. Okay, class 4.3, 4.4, and then 4.5. Okay, this is very general statement, platform specific architecture. So this section is declare and describe the platform specific architecture chosen for your project. Okay, so you need to explain the platform used, include software, hardware, communication network, database, and system. So this is very uh, useful information because sometimes the user don't know, they don't find the information about your about their system platform. Platform means what is the software they use, what software that you use, what type of database you use, what version of database you use, what kind of network design you use, yeah, what type of server uh, hardware server that you use, what type of operating system that you use. So they want to know, okay, because some of the customer, although the technical team doesn't develop the system, they outsource to other company. But lastly, you need to hand over to the technical person, so they have to know the uh, platform specific as platform specific architecture that you use and develop for their system. Okay, in this case, in this example, CRS use the Java platform, so you need to explain the front end software you use, the back end software that you use, what is the component API that you use, yeah, what is the type of database you use, okay, what is version of the database, okay, what is the web server service you use, Apache Tomcat or JBoss, uh, or you use Linux, you use Microsoft. This need to explain in this document. So when the customer receive this document become informative, yeah, very informative. Okay, this is a one page or half page. You need to explain the platform specific architecture. So you can see here, class, before you go to the detailed design, which is I explained after this. So there are many component which is under high level design. Uh, you that very important information that you need to explain to the customer or to the project team about your system. Yeah. So this is a transition process from the where you realize, where you transform the requirement into the system design. Yeah. Design is very important. If you wrong design, then you will get the wrong result from the specified requirement. Okay, you see from 4.2 high level design, design description, user interface design, platform specification, deployment view. Okay, so this is a view where you need to tell to your customer or you need to describe your system deployment architecture. What is the deployment view? Okay, the deployment view is to present your application to be deployed in the physical platform, yeah, in the physical computer devices. So where you want to put your software, or you want to put in the you just put in on the table, so of course your system cannot run. Or you just put your software in the document and then you keep in the drawer. No, the application or the software, after you develop the software, you test, uh, you do the unit test, system test, integration test, UAT. So you need to deploy the software and make it run successfully in the physical or in the real computer devices. Yeah, uh, in the real situation where the user can use the new system for improve their business process. Okay, so deployment view is to show to your customer or to the technical team uh, on the physical uh, hardware or server. Yeah, let's say you develop one software, and then your software or your application is a mobile apps. So where you put your software, is it run in the Play Store or iOS, or you need to download it, install in your in your handphones, tablet, or it can use desktop. Or this is where you describe your deployment architecture. Yeah, so when the customers see this diagram, so they can imagine that, oh, your software is actually a web-based application or mobile apps application. So this is one example. Okay, so it run under window application. When we see this window, so we know that, this application is a window platform. We use a window operating system, can run in a window, cannot run in a Linux, for example. Okay, we use a telecom line. Yeah, uh, so we use what TCP/IP. Of course, when involve internet, we use TCP/IP. And then we want to know, so here we don't have the bandwidth size. You need to put the bandwidth size, so that we can imagine that if, let's say, you deploy the system across the country, and then your bandwidth is only 1 meg, so it is not enough. It's not enough to get the good response time of your application. Okay, and then you also show that each of the PC is owned by the doctor or medical assistant, nurse PC, lab PC. Okay, so from here we know that which user is very high load. Yeah, very active user. For example, doctor, they sometimes they don't have time to go to toilet. Start from 8 o'clock until 5 o'clock, and they have to entertain the patient. Okay, so you need to model your deployment view of your application. This is important as well before you go to the detailed design. Okay, so this is considered high level design. Yeah, high level design means uh, you describe your application in high level manner. Okay? High level manner means that the layman people or non-technical people understand your system. Not only the customer, is also your team members. Your team members uh, not only the technical or the programmer. Uh, it may involve system analyst, which is not which a non-technical person. So they need to understand the system as well. Okay, now this is a detailed design. The last tasks that you need to prepare the detailed design and also the physical database design. Yeah. So I explain first on the detailed design. So what you need to deliver in the detailed design is to complete your class diagram. Yeah. The final class diagram, or call it the 99% completed class diagram. Okay, so this is the detailed class diagram, and then what you need to do is you need to describe each of the class. So this is your task to describe each of the class in term of this one. They call it class description. Let's say you take one class, form list of master record. Form list of master record. Here, form list of master record, or other yeah, where is it? Form list master record. Here. Okay, so you take one class, then you need to describe the class description. Let's say you got 20 class 20 class, so you need to describe 20 class, and each of the class of course have the operation. So in UML they call it method, yeah, or operation. Method or operation. So here you describe your operation. Yeah. Okay. So under operation, for example, select. Yeah, so you need to describe the responsibility of this method, the pre-condition, the post-condition, and the algorithm. Okay. The algorithm, how this method perform. Yeah. Remember class how to write the algorithm? I think this is sound familiar with you. Okay, this is another method under the class uh, form list of master record. So you need to describe each of the class and uh, method or operation under that class. That's it. Very simple. Yeah. Okay. So this complete for class form list master record, and continue to another class form locate passion, for example. Okay. So this is heading 4. I need to create this one. Oh no. Okay. So continue to 4.7, 2.3, point 4, point 5, point 6. Depend on the number of the class you discover. Yeah. This is a detailed design. Very easy. Yeah. Uh, each of the class have many operation and describe them. Okay, after you complete your detailed design, describe each class and every operation under the class. Then you go to the last part, is the physical database design. Okay, so this is very important. If you don't have the data data stores, and then you cannot proceed your development. Yeah, so this is I modify the document. So you need to describe your physical database design. Physical database design means it different with the ERD, right? ERD is just high level, yeah, logical database design. This is a physical database design. When you talk about physical, the attribute or the entity should have the data type, the length, primary key, yeah, the description, detail. When you assign your DBA to create the table, so uh, they will easy to create, yeah, and then they know the requirement of you, yeah, and then you also can manage the version of your table accordingly, yeah, because you have a documentation. Anything wrong in your database, so you refer to this document and check the verify from your document to the real database. Okay. Okay, and then you need to describe the physical database or the data dictionary of each of the entity. So when you got this table name, yeah, or your entity, is from your uh, use case description, right? Where you focus on the boundary, you focus on controller, you focus on the focus, and you reveal the entity. So all the entity it become your database, right? And under design, you need to list or describe your physical database design, which uh, put under data dictionary. The data dictionary should have a name of the attribute, the data type of the attribute, the length, the key or index, and provide also the description. Yeah? Example, what is the health facility code? Yeah. So when the user read, they easily understand what is the purpose of this attribute, to store the location of the hospital name, it's a patient name. Okay, class. I think what you need to complete for your technical document of this subject is until 4.10. Yeah. So this is a glossary that you use in your document, and this is abbreviation if you use some short name and then list down here. Okay. I'm not teach you about how to model the application. I also teach you how to produce a very complete and professional document. Yeah. So this is a learning process. Not only draw the use case diagram, sequence diagram, package diagram, but in terms of writing the documentation, the format. So I also teach to you and share with you when you go out for workings. Then when your employer see this document, and uh, the expectation is very good for you, because this document is used in the we use this document during my industrial time. So I share with you, then this is advantage for you to write the document, a proper document. Okay, class. Do you have any question? If you don't, if you have any questions, so write a comment in my video. Yeah, ask the question in my video in the comment column. If you think that this video is good, so press like, and then you can share this video. And I remind you, don't do last minute. So I don't want my student give a lot of excuses when the time to submit is over. Then there are many messages, email, beggar me, uh, give excuses, a lot of excuses. They don't realize, they don't know, they don't understand, they don't have connection, they cannot contact their friend. Oh my God, this is a kindergarten student. So you are a bachelor degree student, so you need to upgrade your time management. Okay, you need to alert, you need to prompt, you need to active. Yeah? You don't passive. Take aside your problems. So if you got problem, or you got uh, anything issue, so you need to resolve it, don't run away. So this is a bachelor student. Yeah, so I believe that your age is all of your age is above 20, right? So above 20 means you are adults. Yeah. And then so don't wait for instruction, so you need to proactive. For example, user interface design, how to use the tool. Yeah, there are plenty of tool to design the UI. So I give you example. So we got, let's say you want to manage the your team members in your group. So you need to use you can use a Trello. Yeah, everyone can use a Trello. See a lot of communication with my colleague. Okay, let's say if you want to see the user interface design and you want to standardize among the team members in your group, so you can use Figma. Figma is a free online. Okay, so this is an example of UI that you can use to design your uh, application screen. Okay, so this is a wireframe, so this is a mockup. There are a lot plenty of software in the market which is free. Yeah, this is some of the user interface design, and you can share among the team members. And what you need to do is you copy and paste into your document. Yeah, copy in your document. Yeah, so this is a way how you work as a software engineer or software developer. Okay, class. What else? So what I expect from you. So you need to deliver your project document on time. I'm not set the deadline to submit. I think before the final exam, or right after the final examination. So you need to hand in this assignment. And again, I want that all your team members participate. Yeah. So the team leader of the project need to report to me which of the team members never contribute or very less contribute. So the mark of the uh, student is not equal. Yeah, is based on the is based on your contribution on your project. So I believe that you should maintain your professionalism, maintain your honors. Yeah, don't lie in acquiring the knowledge, because the knowledge is very important. In Islam, they call it barakah. If you're cheating or you don't work, you copy other people work, or you just become a sleeping partner. If you got A is not barakah. Yeah. Okay, class. That's it. If you have a question, so please a comment. Yeah. Write a comment in the YouTube in the video, and don't do last minute. If you do last minute, I will not entertain. I will not answer your question. So I also have a time milestone uh, to be done. Yeah. So please that tomorrow is our class actually. Yeah. 9 o'clock until 6 o'clock. So on every Tuesday is our class, a lecture and lab. So you need to spend one day in your on your laptop, study the last chapter, study this last lab, and then produce the document. So you can see I give the contents. Yeah. Maybe you can see, yeah, what is the content need to be included in your document, in this document. Okay. So it should have a planning, introduction, background, intended audience, scope, organization, schedule, costing, and so on development approach. So in chapter 2, we have introduction, overview as is system, proposed to be system, yeah, in system analysis, use case view, use case specification, logical view, static view, data requirement, glossary, abbreviation. In chapter 4, we got introduction, high level design, yeah, system description, user interface design, platform specific architecture, deployment view, yeah, and then detailed design, and then you got the physical database design. Finish. Okay, class. See you later. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.